Today we're doing two NFL player props here on PrizePicks for Monday, December 18th. Monday Night Football between the Eagles and the Seahawks. Before we get started, link in the description below. Hop into our premium Discord at $9.30 per month. It's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. We also have other premium cappers in there as well. They post all of their plays, research, and analysis. Super positive community in there. Everyone is trying to help each other cash. I also want to mention I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. It's simply the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. Again, no one's pressing submit on those parlays other than yourselves. But let's get right into it, you guys. I got two player props from this game. Obviously, this should be a wet weather game here. 84% chance of rain, some winds. Philly is 3-point favorites here, and the over-under is 45. So Vegas expecting a decent amount of points here, decent amount of scoring. We got both quarterbacks for this game questionable, though, which is definitely hindering just overall research and how we're going to go about attacking this game specifically. But I do got two plays that I think if both these quarterbacks get ruled out, still are fine. And I'm taking into account Geno Smith not playing and Jalen Hurts being questionable. So just keep that in mind. Let's not waste any time though. I want to get right into this video. Again, getting this video out a little bit later than normal. Let's get into it. So the first play is going to be DeAndre Swift over 76 rush plus receiving yards. We look at DeAndre Swift. This is his game log this season in Eagles wins. He's over this line in 4 of 8 games, and you can see 3 misses coming 75, 74, and 64. So it's seen 64 plus rush or total yards essentially in Eagles wins this season. If we take away the wins, right, for the Eagles, let's just say any win and loss. This is outlier. Link in the description. You get a 7-day free trial with outlier. This is a research betting tool that I do use every single day. He's currently set at 77 total yards on books, minus 117 on Caesars here, and you can see how much the line has moved as of late, but it's just an elite matchup, right? We look at versus the running back position, rushing yards allowed 22, receiving yards allowed 27th ranked, right? So an elite matchup for DeAndre Swift here against the Seahawks. We look at his rush plus reception or total yards game log this season, and when he sees like 12 plus carries, this has significantly been pretty cash, right? So we look at 79 when he sees 14, 12, 17, 16, and 28 carries here. This is an easy over. We look at some recent running backs game log this season versus the Seahawks. McCaffrey 153 total yards, Pollard 83, McCaffrey 139. Royce Freeman, Darrell Henderson 73 and 29, Antonio Gibson 188, and Brian Robinson 157 in the same game. Keaton Mitchell 134, Justice Hill 40, Gus Edwards 52 in the same game. Cleveland, Jerome Ford 39, Kareem Hunt 67, Pierre Strong 97 in the same game. We saw Amari DeMarcado 75. So we've seen running backs just absolutely be able to dominate the Seahawks, and I think with Jalen Hurts possibly questionable, a little bit banged up, I think they definitely looking to dominate this game on the ground, obviously with the weather being a factor as well. And we look, again, it's just an elite matchup. We look at the last 8 weeks, running back to the running back position, the Seahawks giving up the most yards per carry, as well as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8th most total receiving yards to the running back position. Yards per throw, they're right here. 5th highest yards per throw to the running back position as well. Again, listed at 77 on books. I'm definitely thinking this line's going to continue to move up. DeAndre Swift over 76 RR yards is the first play. The second play is going to be Jackson Smith-Njigba. I like his over 3.5 receptions. I think this line's going to bump. It was at 4, dropped down to 3.5. Not really sure why. The Philly obviously defense is a pass funnel defense. They dominate. Teams can't really run the ball on them. And we look at Jackson Smith, right? Continuing to see significant amount of snaps, continuing to see targets as well. Just on the season alone, he's over this line in 7 games. Okay, 7 games this season, over 4 receptions. But specifically, if Drew Lock starts this game, we just saw last week with Drew Lock as the quarterback. Jackson Smith, I think he saw the most targets or the tie for the most targets on the team. He saw 7 targets from Drew Lock and caught 4 balls on 7 targets against the 49ers pass defense, which is somewhat of a similar defense as far as just being pass funnel. But we look at the Eagles, right, on the season, the most receptions to wide receivers in the NFL, allowing the most receptions along with the second most targets to wide receivers in the NFL. We look at this odds over on outlier, minus 130 on DraftKings, minus 120 on BetMGM. And then we just look at wide receivers game log this season versus the Eagles. Just an elite hit rate. So many different types of wide receivers where they line up and things like that have hit the over on this line this season against the Eagles. I think Jackson Smith, if Drew Lock gets the start, I definitely think this bumps to 4, maybe 4.5. But at 3.5, I think it's an elite value. Again, don't want to keep this video too long. Here are the 2 plays for this YouTube video. DeAndre Swift over 76 RR yards, 76.5 RR yards, and Smith-Njigba over 3.5 receptions. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about these 2 plays. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.